Hi, here we are at the Ellen Tallman Co-op. We're going to be learning about how the co-op collaborated with the Ottawa Renewable Energy Co-op to put solar panels on their roof, which you can see here. And we're also going to be learning about some of the technical aspects around the project.
Good afternoon. My name is David Ryanus. The Ottawa Renewable Energy Co-op is a group of folks in our city who decided we wanted to make investments in green energy projects, primarily solar, but also some wind projects as well. And essentially what we do is we become a member of the co-op, and then each of us have the opportunity of investing some money, which is then used to install solar panels on various properties around the city. They're primarily co-ops, but they could be schools or churches. Anybody who would like to rent their roof on a trouble-free basis in order to earn some income. We in turn then do our deal with Ottawa Hydro, and we feed the electricity that's generated from the solar panels back into the electricity grid, and then for a 20-year period the rate of compensation is guaranteed. So it turns out to be kind of a win-win situation for the investors who are making a 5% rate of return, as well as the organizations that we're renting roofs from, particularly co-ops. And it's a collective way of just doing the right thing. We all want to move toward a more green energy basis for our electricity generation needs. The way this works is that each of the units in the co-op has its own meter, so that's measuring the electricity that's consumed by each individual or family. But we have another meter on the other wall here, and that meter is connected to the solar panels on the roof of the co-op, and it's measuring electricity that's generated by sunlight and is being fed back into the grid, and is then being compensated by Ottawa Hydro for the electricity that's generated. So it's a way for the co-op basically to have a slightly extra income stream, because the Ottawa Renewable Energy Co-op is renting the roof space from the co-op in order to provide this service.
Hello, my name is Alistair. I'm from EnviroCenter. I'm here with Janice, president of the board of this co-op, Elise Talman, and David from OREC, the Ottawa Renewable Energy Co-op. So it's another co-op. So these two have partnered together. They have put a solar panel on the roof of this co-op, and I'm just curious how that relationship sort of developed.
Yeah, well, like most co-ops, we're very environmentally conscious, and we want a green environment. And we wanted to put the solar panels on our roof, but unfortunately they're very, very expensive.
Very expensive, yeah.
Yes.
And pretty hard for a co-op to afford.
It is. So this co-op, ORAC, specializes in doing just exactly that. So they own the solar panels.
Okay.
And they rent the roof space from us.
Oh, okay.
And the energy that's produced by these great panels gets sold to the I guess
Hydro Ottawa, yeah.
And it's sort of a win-win situation for everyone, because we've got this wonderful roof space.
So it's facing roof line,
Yeah,
and it seems it's getting a lot of sun today, and it's September.
It does. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it certainly is.
It's beautiful. Now, I don't know the stats on how much electricity they actually produce.
Yeah,
perhaps,
David, how much electricity do they produce?
Well, this is a 10 kilowatt installation, so it's producing a reasonable amount of electricity. It's under what's called the microfit program in Ontario, feed-in tariff program. And for members of the co-op, we want to do the right thing. We want to do green projects, and this is a way for us to make an investment that's doing a good thing, but also get a reasonable rate of return. We're looking at about a 5% rate of return on our investment in projects like these.
That's wonderful. And so 10 kilowatts, is that every hour, or?
No, that would be its peak generation. So during the very hot
time, so
time
like
of the day,
like right now, yeah.
You're getting your peak electricity generation. So that's the maximum capacity.
Yeah.
And of course, it'll fade in and fade out during the day.
Of course, yeah, with the clouds and. So is it still produced reasonably well in the winter time?
Absolutely, because Ottawa has a remarkable number of sun days per year.
Yeah.
And lots of sunny days in the winter time. The snow will melt off the panels. You can continue to generate electricity year round.
I guess it gets pretty hot up there, right?
It does.
That's wonderful stuff.
And they're flat mounted.
Yeah.
So they're a nice profile for the thing. They don't stick
They do
up.
match the roof profile
and they
pretty
shed
much
the
100%.
snow.
Yeah.
They shed the snow and the water, and they come right off, and it's beautiful.
That's wonderful. So I guess that helps out with the co-op as well too.
Well,
financially.
we do get a small amount for rent on the roof space. It's not a lot of money, but
every little bit helps.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
When you're a nonprofit co-op, that you can.
And it's also great for the environment as well,
It's
too.
awesome for the environment. I would encourage anybody with a flat or a semi-flat roof like this to do it.
Especially if it's facing south, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
So Janice, this is not really typical of a co-op. Like I've been to a couple different co-ops across Ottawa, and this is the first one with a microfit. So what are some of the processes to get, you know, the entire co-op on board to get a microfit, or where did this idea originate from?
Well, we have some people in the co-op that are green conscious, recycle conscious, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And one of our office people, actually, she doesn't live in this co-op. I think she lives in a different one.
Yeah.
She's very, very conscious of environmental concerns, and she initiated the energy committee.
Okay, so the energy committee.
Yeah, we have an energy committee, and what they do is they meet once a month and they discuss ways in which that they can help our members reduce their energy costs and increase efficiency and other things like that. And we were looking at the opportunity to put solar panels on our roof in order to save the members some money. And well, the panels proved a little prohibitive because of the cost.
Cost,
so,
front-end cost
the
is
front-end
probably
costs
what,
were a little
100,000, 200,000?
Very close.
Very
I
close
mean,
to 100,000,
they're they're a big ticket item.
Yeah.
Really worth it, but a big ticket item. And of course, financially, we couldn't do it. We're a non-profit.
You're pretty strapped for cash on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. So what we did was we partnered with another co-op, the Ottawa Renewable Energy Co-op.
Yeah.
And we worked with them to put these panels up on the roof, and they own them, they maintain them, and they're beautiful.
So did you just call OREC up one day and say,
Yeah,
listen, we're
yeah.
interested in solar panels, and they
We
said,
did some research.
Yeah.
We did some research to find out what was out there. There is a program sponsored by the government and the Ontario Energy to have these microfit programs where individuals can own solar panels and sell the energy to the hydro.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and so we looked at those kinds of initiatives and whether or not we could afford it and so on and so forth. And this co-op, co-ops in general like to work with each other.
Yeah, of course.
It's a spirit of cooperation and stuff. And we found this co-op and they do just exactly it. So we had a general meeting and we invited them in to visit with us and explain the process and see what what the deal was and what they could do and what we had to do and so on and so forth. And the members approved it.
That's
they
wonderful.
They thought it was a great idea.
So was it restrictive at all? Did you have to pay anything up front?
No, we didn't have to pay a cent. They came in, they were very, very quick.
Excellent.
They had an agency that they used to install them.
Okay.
They came in, they put up a scaffold. Within 3-4 days it was done.
Wow. It's quick, it's efficient.
Quick, efficient, they're flat mounted to our roof. Like
Yeah.
our roof is on an angle like this.
Yeah.
So they're flat mounted, they face south,
Yeah.
and they get good exposure. And it was all done in less than a week. We don't have to touch them.
Yeah.
We don't have to do anything.
So if there's any sort of issue, just call OREC up.
We call them up. They send out their people.
The technician, and they'll fix the problem. And
Yeah.
so that's really plug and play for you guys
Yes,
then, right?
it's wonderful. And on top of it, they pay us some rent.
Oh wow, yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, there is a benefit to the
There is
co-op.
a
So it's
benefit to
not
the
just out of the
co-op.
goodness of your heart,
Yeah.
but it's also helping out
And what's really nice
the
is
green community.
at the end of the 20-year project,
Yeah.
we're allowed to buy the solar panels from them and use that energy for ourselves.
That's wonderful.
And those things will last.
So this is almost this is a rental opportunity as well as an investment opportunity into your co-op, and almost risk-free it seems. You know.
It's absolutely risk-free
And
for us.
that's wonderful. That's great.
And OREC has their investors. They are a co-op. People can join OREC and invest and become part of that system as well. And they can reap the benefits of doing this on other roofs.
That's wonderful, and energy costs are just going up, and I mean, the greenhouse gases that are produced from even natural gas power plants are zounds more than what you get from solar. So this is sort of like a passive energy.
It is, and
consortium.
it's a great way to generate some electricity now. For those who can afford to put up the upfront costs, they reap the benefits directly by channeling that power into their own home. But for those who can't, OREC is a way to go.
That sounds like a great opportunity for some
It
people.
is,
I'm sure
it
there's going to be
is.
some roofs that don't quite match as nicely as yours, but then I mean,
Well,
it seems
we're
like they're a
lucky.
great co-op to work with.
It's great. It's been fine. There's been no problems whatsoever with it, and I would encourage anybody to do this sort of thing. I think green energy is the way we have to go. Our population is increasing. We need electricity, and we
Yeah.
need a clean source.
We need a clean source for sure.
Yeah, so we need wind power, solar power, and all of that sort of thing to.
This seems to be a great way to do it.
Yeah, I think so. I think
I think this
so.
is wonderful.
Great.
Well, thank you very much, Janice.
No problem.